Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you all are well, safe and healthy at home. I'm your English teacher Farzana Khan with very informative topic, basic punctuation rules. Previously you were taught about the use of modal verbs and the use of articles. And in today's class, you are going to learn about the punctuation rules, that how to punctuate sentences and how to punctuate paragraphs. I'm sure you must be thinking that punctuation is not worth learning. So, dear student, think again, because without punctuation, English is very difficult to comprehend. When we talk about punctuation, it is essential and is used to convey and clarify the meaning of written language. It is such simple marks. For instance, you can use full stop and comma. It also contains the complex ones such as semicolons and colons. So getting punctuation wrong can change the entire meaning of a sentence. So to become an effective English writer and to make your written text comprehensible for your readers, it's very important to understand and to learn the basic rules of punctuation. So pay close attention to today's lecture and learn about the basic rules of punctuations. When we talk about the punctuations, it can be defined as the set of marks. In other way, you can say the set of symbols which are basically used to regulate texts and clarify their meanings, principally by separating or linking words, phrases, clauses, and sentences. Basically, punctuation marks are used to separate and to link the words, phrases, clauses, and sentences. Let me tell you some other points about the importance of punctuations. Basically, when we talk to other person face to face, at that time we give pauses while speaking to other person, and along with the words, our tone also make the meaning of our sentences very clear for our to our readers, to our listeners. But when it comes to the writing, because communication includes both oral and written communication. So when it comes to written communication, so when you are not in front of your reader, so it's very important to punctuate your text with full concentration and carefully to make your text clear for your readers. Alright, so when you are not in front of your reader and your text is in front of your reader, so it's very important that it must be properly punctuated to make the meaning clear for your readers. Let me show you here some examples. Here you can see the first sentence, that is. So it's basically, it seems that it is not a sentence. These are basically four words which are arranged in a sequence. Well, because it is not making any sense. So let's see another sentence, that is not is not. Here you can see again, it is again a group of words because it is not making a sense. It's not giving you a sense that what mean by this. Is that it is. Again, a group of words without sense. So we cannot say that these are sentences, but because when we define the sentences, a sentence is a group of words which gives a complete sense. So these basically are the group of words, but these are not giving the complete sense. So we cannot say that these are the sentences. Well, here the last example, you can see, let's eat grandma. Although it's making a sense, but an illogical and very dangerous sense, that the writer is going to eat the grandma. Well, let me show you some same sentences again. Here you can see the well-punctuated sentences. So read the sentence number 1. That is. वो जो है. Second, that is not. Well, the sentence is clear, the sense is clear. Is that it? It is. Right? So let's eat grandma. Here the writer is basically talking to grandma with excitement that basically he's going to eat something with his grandma. So here with these example, I'm 100% sure the importance of punctuations rules is pretty clear in your mind, that punctuations saves the time, makes the sentences clear, and punctuation basically saves the lives. Well, let's learn about the rules of punctuations. These are the punctuation marks. First of all, the end marks. Second, capital letters. You need to keep it in your mind that capital letters also come under the category of uh, punctuations. The third, apostrophes. The fourth are semicolons, brackets, dashes, commas, and speech marks. So these are the basically, you can say these are the, uh, you can simply say these are punctuations, are symbols which make clear the meaning of the sentences, phrases, clauses, and the paragraphs. So you will learn all these punctuations rules, punctuation marks one by one in today's lecture. So let me tell you first of all about the end marks. Basically, there are three end marks in English language. First of all, there is a full stop. After that, there is question mark. Here you can see the symbol of the question mark. And the third end mark is the exclamatory mark or exclamation mark. So let's discuss one by one that how to use these end marks. First of all, the full stop. Full stop is basically a complete and strong pause, which basically separates one sentence from an other sentence. It is placed at the completion of the assertive sentences or imperative sentences. So you need to place full stop at the end of assertive and imperative sentences. You already very well know about the assertive and imperative sentences. Here you can see in this example, it is a rainy day. So it is a rainy day, it's a declarative and assertive sentence. So the full stop is placed here at the end of the sentence. Similarly, in the next sentence, you can see, do not interrupt while I'm talking. It's an imperative statement. So full stop is placed at the end of assertive sentences and at the end of imperative sentences. End marks basically means the complete stop. And marks basically separate one sentence from another sentence in the paragraphs. It was about the full stop. The second end mark is the question mark. Question mark means something is being asked. Here you can see the symbol of the question mark. So when we talk about the interrogative sentences, basically interrogative sentences are made with 5 W's and 1 H. What, why, where, when, which. These are 5 W's. And how is 1 H. So we can make sentences with 5 W's and 1 H, and along with this, we can also make the question sentences or interrogative sentences while placing the helping verb in the start of the sentence. So here you can see in this example, are you going to lunch? So in this sentence, only the structure has been changed. The first of all, the helping verb is placed in the start to make it sentence. But how the other will be able to understand that this is a sentence by placing a question mark, which is very important. So question marks are placed at the end of the interrogative sentences when you want to ask something. The third end mark is an exclamation mark, which shows excitement or sudden feelings or emotions. Here you can see the symbol of the punctuation mark of exclamation mark, which basically shows an excitement in all those sentences in which you express your sudden feelings or emotions. These feelings can be of excitement, these feelings can be of sadness, these feelings can be of shocking feelings. So exclamatory sentences, at the end of exclamatory sentences exclamation mark is placed. So these three are the end marks: full stop, question mark, and exclamation mark, which are placed at the end of the sentences. So second punctuation mark are basically the capital letters. What are capital letter? You all are pretty clear about the capital letter. Here all the letters in this heading are capitalized. So how to capitalize and which word and whether to capitalize certain words in the sentences are not. So these are basically important capital rules which you need to understand very well for making your writing clear and effective for your audience and for your readers. Well, the first rule of capitalization is that capitalize the first word of every sentence. This is basically the very important and a very easy rule. And all of you are pretty clear about this rule, that whenever you will start any sentence, the first letter of that sentence will be capitalized. Well, the second rule of capitalization, it is about the titles, headings, and subheadings. Usually students make a lot of mistakes while writing titles in the assignments and writing titles in the academic papers. Well, it's very important to understand that how to write the titles, how to write the headings and subheadings. According to the standard rules, basically the a proper rule of writing heading subheadings is to go for the upper lower case. So what is the rule of upper lower case? In upper lower case means you need to capitalize all the first letter of all those words which are important. So the question arises that which are important word and which are unimportant word. When we talk about the unimportant words, you need to keep it in your mind the articles. Within a sentence of the heading, the article, this is not an important word. Preposition, helping verb, and conjunctions. These four are the words which you don't need to capitalize if they are coming within the heading. But if your heading is going to start with the capital with the article, then definitely the first letter will be capitalized. If your heading is going to start with preposition, then definitely first letter will you need to capitalize. Similarly, you will capitalize the first letter of helping verb and conjunction if your heading's title or subheading is going to start with these words. Right? Otherwise, you won't capitalize the first letter of these words. Rest of the all parts of speech need to be capitalized when they are the part of the sentence, when they are the part of the title, heading, or subheading. Let me explain with an example. For instance, this is the heading of your essay, or this can be the topic, this can be the subheading, or it can be the title of an assignment. Right here you can see Pakistan is rich in resources. If you're taking it heading, a title, or subheading, then you can see, first of all, there is Pakistan, which is a noun, right? An important word. So first, at the same time, this is also the first word of the statement. That's why you need to capitalize the first letter P. When it comes to is, this is a helping verb, so no need to capitalize the first letter of helping verb. Next move toward the rich, which is basically an adjective, and it can also be taken a noun. So that's why the first letter of R is rich, R is capitalized. And there is a preposition. So you don't need to capitalize the first letter of first letter of preposition in headings, letters, titles, and subheadings. Next, there is resources, which is a noun. That's where the first letter is capitalized. So when writing titles, headings, and subheadings, you will capitalize first letter of all those words which are important, and you won't capitalize the articles, helping verbs, preposition, and conjunctions. So it was the second rule of capitalization. Next, move towards the third rule of the capitalization. Third rule is that capitalize the names of specific person, places, and geographical locations. It means you need to capitalize the proper nouns. You need to capitalize the names of everyone when you are writing within the sentence. Here you can see Wakas, W is capitalized. You need to capitalize the names of places, Middle East. You need to capitalize the names of geographical location, Old West. You need to capitalize the names of the countries, which is also the you can say the name of the place, Australia, A is capitalized. So in this sentence, my brother Wakas, who used to live in Middle East and write books about the Old West, now lives in Australia. In this sentence, all the name of the geographical locations, the name of the places, and the name of the person have been capitalized. First letters have been capitalized. Well, it is the second rule of capitalization. Now move towards the other rule of capitalization. Okay, the next is also related to the rule number 3. When you are going to capitalize the names of persons, geographical locations, and the names of places, you need to keep it in your mind that you won't capitalize directions, the names of directions, the names of colors, and the names of seasons when they are coming or they are occurring within the sentences, so don't capitalize them. But if the names of directions, colors, and seasons are coming in the very start of the sentence, then you will follow the first rule of capitalization, means capitalize the first letter of every starting sentence. Every sentence. Well, in the first example, you can see they have reached north of the Indian Ocean. Well, north is basically direction. That's why, and it's not capitalized. But Indian Ocean is place. That's why it's the name. That's why both of the first letter have been capitalized. Again, next fall, before the winter storms begin, we are heading south. So in here you can see south is direction. So no need to capitalize. Similarly, winter is the name of the season. That's why don't capitalize the first letter of season. Similarly, in here, in another example, you can see blacks, white. The names of the color have not been capitalized. So don't capitalize directions, colors, and seasons names. Next, rule number 4 of capitalization. According to the rule number 4, you need to capitalize the name of days, the names of weeks, the names of months, and the names of holidays. Whenever you will write the name of any day in your sentence, you will capitalize the first letter of the name of the day. Similarly, there are 12 months, so name first letter of every month, the name August, December, January, February, October. So all the months, first letter of the name of the month will always be capitalized in the sentence. Next, it come to the name of the holidays. You can say Pakistan Independence Day. Similarly, we can say the Resolution Day. We can say the Defense Day. Similarly, there are also certain other days which are basically the national, as you can say, the world recognized holidays. So the name of the holidays will, first letter of the names of the holidays, you need to capitalize everywhere in the sentence, in the start of the sentence. In this example here, you can see Pakistan Independence Day, which is always on 14th of August, falls on Tuesday this year. Well, here you can see the name of the month, first letter is capitalized. Again, the name of the day, first letter is capitalized within the sentence. The name of the holiday, first letter is again capitalized. So, according to the English rule of capitalization, the pronoun I, which is a personal pronoun, whenever you will use I in any sentence, I as a personal pronoun, not I of the letter information, not I of the word is, right? Whenever you will use personal pronoun I, you will always capitalize it. So rule number 5 of capitalization, capitalize the names of historical events, right? So all the name of historical events, whenever you will write in the sentence, you will capitalize the first letter of the complete name of the historical events. It can be any event from the past history of Pakistan. It can be any event from the past Islamic history. Well, in the example, you can see the Battle of the Bulge was an important event in the World War II. So you can see all the first letter are capitalized in the Battle of the Bulge. But again, keep it in your mind, the preposition, let me show you again, the preposition uh, and the article has not been capitalized. Only the battle, B of the battle and the B of the bulge has been capitalized. Similarly, World War II, you can see uh, there are W of the world and W of the war have been capitalized. So you will always capitalize the first letter of the historical events. Next is rule number 6. Capitalize the names of religions and religious terms. Whenever you will write the name of religion and religious terms within the sentences, you will always capitalize them. God, Christ, Allah, Christianity, Christians, Jews, Islam, Muslims. So these all are the names of religion and religious terms. That's why the first letter will always need to capitalize. According to the 7 rules of capitalization, capitalize the names of nations, nationalities, and languages. So you need to capitalize the uh, names of nations like Pakistanis, Indians, Chinese, Japanese, Americans, and you also need to capitalize the names of countries everywhere: Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, similarly America, uh, Canada. So at the same time, the names of languages whenever will be written in the texts in the sentence, so everywhere where the first letter need to be capitalized. For instance, you are writing English. I like to learn English language, so you will capitalize the first letter of English E. Similarly, I want to learn Urdu language. So here in this sentence, I'll capitalize the first letter of Urdu because it's the name of the language. Well, according to the rule number 8 of capitalization, capitalize the names of academic courses when they are used as titles. Whenever you will write the name of the academic course as a title, you need to capitalize the first letter. In the example, you can see he's doing master in English. English is basically is the name of the subject here, is the name of the course. That's why E is capitalized. Again, English is also name of the language. That's why E will always be capitalized. So, according to the rule number 9, brand names. Brand names, whenever they will be written in the sentence, whenever you will write the name of the brand, you will always capitalize the first letter. So it's all about the capitalization, which also come under the category of punctuation rule. For making your writing clear, complete, effective, and understandable for your reader, it's very important to capitalize the words properly, capitalize the letters of the word properly while composing a letter, while drafting an email, or while sending a text to someone other. Well, the next punctuation mark is apostrophe. Let me tell you what is apostrophe and what are the uses of apostrophe. How can you use apostrophe in your writing? Apostrophe basically shows the possession. So apostrophe here, you can see the mark of the apostrophe. It is here. So apostrophe is the most commonly misused punctuation mark. Basically, when we talk about the apostrophe, there are three main uses of the apostrophe. First of all, it is used to make contractions. Secondly, it is used to show possession. And thirdly, it is used to uh, make unusual plurals. The words which have no plural but we need to make them plural, then we need to add apostrophe there. Let me explain one by one that what are the uses of apostrophes. First of all, uh, it is very important. It is basically a determiner which shows possession and which basically should not have an apostrophe in it. For instance, you can talk about when we talk about the contractions. First of all, it's very important to understand that what are contractions. Contractions are basically the short version of the words. For instance, when we use it's in place of it is, when we use I'll in place of I will, when we use will in place of we will, when we use can't in place of cannot, when we use won't in place of will not, when we use don't in place of do not, so when we use didn't in place of did not. So the short version, it's can't, won't, I'll, didn't, couldn't. These are basically contractions. So contractions are used while speaking, and indirect writing contractions are also written. So while making contractions, we need to add apostrophe. Right here, you can see in the sentences in the word it's. So we have made contraction of the it is while adding apostrophe and s, it's. So apostrophe is used to make contractions. You can see here the other examples. It's, it is. So can't is basically the contraction of cannot. We use contractions a lot when we are speaking a lot, when we are talking to other person. But when we talk about contractions, I would like to tell you one point here, that contractions are basically considered informal speech. So you need to avoid contractions in proper formal writing, such as writing essays, composing letters, because it seems too chatty, because it's an informal way. But when it comes to writing, a writing of direct speech, you are citing a direct quote of someone, then you need to add contractions because you are going to write the exact statement of someone. Okay, when it comes to the spoken speech, when it comes to the oral speech, so contractions are encouraged while speaking because contractions basically reveals your fluency in the speech. So whether you are in informal setting or in proper formal setting, you need to use contraction in your speech. Well, the first use of the apostrophe it is used in contractions. Let's talk about the second use of contraction, apostrophe. Apostrophe is used to show possession. How it is used to show possessions? You can see that in the sentence, apostrophes are also used to show possession. Who are, what owns something. Adding a apostrophe and an s after a person, place, or thing basically shows that he, she, it are the owner of other noun in the sentence. Here you can see this is Ali's book. So there is an apostrophe and there is an s, and again a noun in the sentence book. So it means the book belongs to the Ali. So to show possession, we add apostrophe and then s. Let me explain another rule related to the possession. Basically, when we need to show possession with the nouns which ends with s or which are plural, then we don't need to add an other s after the apostrophe. Let me explain with examples. Devices are selected from the newspaper's editorials. Here you can see newspapers is a plural. It already contains s. That's why here you can see there is only apostrophe, there is no other addition of s. So only apostrophe, and then there is an other noun which is belonging to the newspapers. In other sentence, you can see weeks. You only have 2 weeks holiday. So weeks is a plural, it already contains s, so we have here placed only apostrophe, which is showing possession of the weeks with the holiday. Again, in the third sentence, you can see those plants' leaves are brown. Right, plants, basically you can see plants is uh, a plural which contains s, so there is no need to add an other s after apostrophe. So there is leaves are brown, those plants leaves are brown, so we have here only here added apostrophe. So apostrophe is used to show possession of the noun or pronoun with an other noun or pronoun. Other use of apostrophe is that it is used in unusual plural, such as numbers and letters which would be unreadable otherwise. For instance, here you can see in the example, your mobile phone number is easy to remember because there are 3 O's in it. Because there are 3 O's in it. So you can see O. So we need to make the plural of O. How will you make the plural of O? You will make the plural of O while adding an apostrophe and then an S, which is pronounced as O's. In second example, you can see bees, 2 bees. So here the plural of bee has been made while adding an apostrophe and then an S. In third example, you can see 7 C's of communication. So unusual plural of C has been made by adding apostrophe and an S. In fourth example, you can see as. As mean you can see is. A and then apostrophe and S. It means the plural of S. Usually we can see I have all A's in my transcript. You can also say I have all B's in the transcript, right? So the third use of apostrophe is to make unusual plurals. The next punctuation mark is colons. Let me show you what are colons. You can see the 2 dot. This is basically the symbol or mark of colons. When we talk about the uses of the colon, basically it's a complete pause, but not the complete pause like the end mark. It doesn't mean the sentence is going to end here, but it is a more strong and complete pause than a semicolon. So there are different uses of the colon. First of all, colons is basically used before enumeration, means showing a number of list. When we talk about colon, it basically means when we use colon, it means then after the word, after the clause or sentence, there is something other, which is the explanation of the previous one. Let me explain with the example. The fire destroyed many things in the house. We have placed here colon, and then after that there is the list of the things which have been destroyed by the fire: the furniture, the carpets, and the curtains. Right? So here the list of you can say the list is there, the enumeration is there. So you can simply say the fire destroyed many things in the house, and then colon means there is the explanation that which thing has been destroyed by the fire: the furniture, the carpets, and the curtains. The other use of colon is to introduce a quotation. For instance, you can say the bacon says, and then there is colon, and then there is the direct statement of the bacon. A reading makes a full man, writing an exact man, speaking a ready man. Well, to introduce a quotation after placing the name of the person, we usually place colons and after that the exact statement of the person. The next, you can see the examples of the colon. Muhammad went for shopping and bought some fruits. So here you can see there is colon, which is indicating that there is the explanation of the shopping, that what actually Muhammad bought. 2 apples, some cherries, and a melon. Right? Well, these are the examples of colons. Next is semicolon. Semicolon, you can see here the symbol of the semicolon, one dot, and after that there is comma. Semicolon basically joins two complete sentences or two independent clauses into a one sentence. And so semicolons is a weak pause as compared to the colon. This is because some sentences are too closely related to be separated by a full stop, but they are missing a connection word such as and, but, or because. Then we add semicolons there. Let me explain with some examples. Here you can see Muhammad was angry. Semicolon, Tamur was not listening. It means there is direct connection between these two independent clauses. Muhammad was angry because Tamur was not listening. So the connection word, you can see the conjunction is missing here. That's why we need to place here semicolons. In other sentence, you can see Ali felt hot. Semicolon, the sun was blazing. Ali felt hot because the sun was blazing. Again, the connecting word is missing. That's why two independent sentences or two independent clauses has been connected with the semicolons. In the last example, you can see I found the film long, semicolon. Tamur found the film short. In other sense, you can see I found the film long, but Tamur found the film short. Right? So we place semicolons to connect to independent clauses or sentences which are closely related to each other, but which basically lack the conjunction, or you can say connected word, connector. The next is brackets. So brackets are pretty clear to all of you that brackets allow you to add some extra information into a sentence. So when you need to add some extra information into a sentence, you usually place brackets and add those information within the brackets. But what we add in the brackets, it's pretty clear for all of us that basically related to that particular sentence in which we are adding brackets and we are adding the sentences. So basically it means we are giving something extra information to our reader, but without those words, basically the sentence is complete. Here you can see in the example, speak in foreign languages, I believe, is a useful skill. So if we skip I believe, this is an extra information. If we use it in the way that speaking foreign languages is a useful skill, the sense is again complete, the sentence is complete. In other example, you can see my parents, Awais and Amna, are very strict. So here the writer is basically talking about the parents, and he has given the names of the parents which are not necessary to tell in the sentence. So it's an extra information. The sentence still makes sense without the information in the brackets. My parents are very strict. So brackets are used to add something extra in the sentence. The next very important and very easy is the use of comma. How to use comma? Basically there are different uses of comma. When we speak to other person, while speaking we give pause at the place of the comma. But when we are writing, so at the place of the pause, we need to add comma. So first use of comma is that comma is used to separate a list. When you are telling a list, then you need to add comma to separate one word from the other word or one group of words from the other group of words. Here you can see in the example, my favorite animals are giraffes, comma, dogs, comma, cats and birds. So comma is placed within the words to separate list, or you can say this to separate certain numbers, names of places, things and persons. Well, the second use of comma is that it is also used between the date and the year. Let me show you here. You can see the exact pattern of the date. December, right? December 14, comma, and 2020. So in this sentence, after the name of the month and date, it is mandatory while writing date to place the comma. So if you want to add even the day, in the same date, if you want to add the day, so first you will write the day, first letter of the name of the day will be capitalized, and after that you will place comma and then the name of the month and then the date, and after that comma and the name of the and then the year. So comma is used between the date and the year. Comma can also tell you where to give pause in a sentence. For instance, you can say in the example, all is well, but not necessarily forgotten. So when you want to give pause to make the meaning clear in written way, you will go for adding comma there. So there is another use of comma, that comma is used between words, between certain words. What are those words? Those words are pronouns. When you need to add two or more than two pronouns in the sentence as a subject, so you need to add comma here. You can see you, he and I will buy the book, right? So after you there is comma to separate you and he. Similarly, in other sentence you can see I, you and he will kill the man. So I, you and he, here you can see to separate the different pronouns, personal pronouns, the comma has been used. Well, according to the rule number 5 of using comma, that there is no need to use comma when the order of the sentence is proper, means there is subject, then there is verb, and then there is object. At that time, there is no need to add comma after subject or after verb before the object. Here you can see the example, Maha and Minahil. Maha and Minahil bought books from the market near their house in the colony. So Maha and Minahil is the subject here, bought is basically the verb here, and books is the object, and from the market near their house in the colony is basically the proper order in which the other noun has been introduced in the sentence while adding a preposition to make the object very clear for the readers. But when it comes to the broken order, comma is used when the order is broken. So you can break the order of the same sentence. Here you can see near their house in the colony, comma, Maha and Minahil bought books. So when the order of the sentence is broken, so while speaking you will give pause to make the meaning clear, and while writing you will add comma to make the meaning clear. So it was all about the use of comma. Let's talk about the speech marks. Speech marks basically can also be called the quotation marks. Speech marks can also be called quotation marks. These can also be called the inverted commas. So there are basically the two uses of the quotation marks. First of all, the quotation marks are used to add the direct speech in the sentence. As previously you have been seen in the example in which I told you about the use of uh, colons, here you can see in the use of colons that the direct speech of the Bacon. Bacon says, reading makes a full man, writing an exact man, speaking a ready man. Well, here the direct speech of Bacon has been added here. It means the quote of Bacon has been added here. That's why you need to place the quotation marks here. Two inverted commas in the start of the sentence and at the end of the sentence. It is the first use of the quotation marks. So let me show you the other use of, let me tell you the other use of quotation marks, that it is used to enclose chapter headings and titles of the articles within the sentences. Usually what students do, they write the title and then they add the quotation marks. So this is basically a wrong, this is basically a major blunder. Title headings or subheadings when they are given in the in writing in written text, so don't need to add quotation marks. But when you are writing titles of some books, articles, when you are writing the headings, the names of the chapters or the names of the subheadings within the sentences, at that time to highlight that those are basically the headings and titles, then you need to use the quotation marks. Here you can see in the example Dr. Safdar Mahmood, Pakistan ideology. Pakistan ideology is basically uh, is the name of the article of Dr. Safdar Mahmood, right? Was recently reproduced in the journal. So Dr. Safdar Mahmood article Pakistan ideology was recently reproduced in the journal. So it means when you will add the name of the heading, the title, the name of the book, the name of the poem, the name of the chapter within the sentence, at that time you will use punctuation mark, you will use the inverted commas or quotation marks while highlighting the name of the book, poem, or chapter or name of the heading within the sentence. But when you are giving the title, a heading, a topic of paragraph, essay, chapter in the start and after that you are writing up, then don't need to add quotation marks in the heading of assignments, in the heading of your questions. I hope these all the rules of punctuations are pretty clear to all of you now. Well, let me show you an assignment. In today's class, dear students, you have learned about the rules of punctuations, which are pretty clear to all of you. You learned how to capitalize the words and different particular letters in the sentences. You learned all about the use of punctuations to make your written text effective, understandable for your readers. So now there is an assignment for all of you. I'm going to upload these on the Google Classroom. You can read this assignment, and after thoroughly understanding and watching this lecture, you can solve this assignment. This is basically a paragraph. What you need to do, you need to keep in mind all the punctuations rules and all the capitalization rule, and after that try to understand this passage and capitalize and punctuate this passage properly to make it understandable. There are certain words which are not capitalized, which you need to capitalize. There are certain sentences, all the sentences are not punctuated. So you need to punctuate and capitalize this passage. So this is your assignment of this week. Go for solving this assignment and submit it to me by the end of this week. Well, we will also discuss all about it in the interactive session. So, dear students, in the next class, you will learn about the essay writing, because you have gained a lot of competency on the use of articles, use of modal verbs, use of punctuations and capitalizations. Now it's the time to move towards the actual composition, actual writing text. So you will learn about the essay in the next lecture. In case of any query, you can discuss in the WhatsApp group, and you can also post your question on Google Classroom. Well, take care, stay at home, stay safe. We'll see you in the next interactive session. Take care. Allah Hafiz.